The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast, and here is your host, Elliot J. O'Neill. Here for the first official recording of the Simpsons Index. I am Elliot J. O'Neill. Today I am joined by...
BT Calloway, hello.
And...
Rory B. Bellows.
Good to have you as always, Rory.
Excellent cross-reference. We'll take more cross-references.
We just watched Bart the Lover as chosen by Beej.
Yep.
And could you please give us a brief synopsis
Season 3,
of that episode?
5?
Season 3, episode whatever it was, I can't remember. Basically, in this one where Edna Krabappel, Bart's teacher, is looking for love and takes out a personal ad that's like Tinder to you kids. And Bart finds out and begins to catfish her as what... We didn't actually have a term for this back in the day, so now we do. That's nice.
I think that term came from this episode, actually.
I'm pretty sure it didn't.
She's the cat and he's the fish. It's pretty obvious from the subtext.
I mean, if you insist.
Are you thinking of the catfish episode?
That's all you're doing. You can watch the catfish episode later.
Sorry, continue.
The B story includes Homer trying to knock off his cursing with a swear jar, which I wouldn't say I like the B story better. In terms of jokes, it's better, I suppose.
It is definitely there as a comic relief.
That's it. You got your heart story and your gag reel story.
Yeah.
Which Homer is ultra dependable on, isn't he?
Oh, he's made for the gag reel.
So this episode actually did something that I tend not to like in newer seasons, which is introducing the B story in the second act.
You like it all in first?
Pardon?
You like it in first act?
Oh, well, they sort of do it badly in newer seasons.
Okay.
Like, it seems to come out of nowhere. And to be fair, it did come out of nowhere in this episode, but it tied together?
Not really. It built to it, though.
Together?
It didn't tie together. There's no, it just happens. It concludes. Did you just watch this? Because I know you did. You were there.
Yeah.
I was next to you.
The swearing didn't change the teacher storyline.
No.
In any way. In fact, what would have been neat is if, at the start, the swearing was caused by Bart walking past Todd and Rod and, cursing or something. So there's sort of a link, the Pulp Fiction-y sort of links between the storylines. But it's okay. You don't have to have A material the whole way through.
No. It's still good. I still had fun watching it.
Why do you sound like you're pitching at that point? You don't have to sell the episode. It's like 20 years old. Okay.
And already wildly popular in its day.
Yeah. Well, no, what I liked is some of the references are dated, but they're dated in a very interesting way. Like, there's a Bill Cosby name drop. You're like, awkward now.
In the same sentence, a Donald Trump.
And a Donald Trump one. It's like, this is a very different world now.
With those two same...
Yeah, I know. In one
Names
sentence.
mean very different things now.
Yeah, very much. But also, like I said earlier, the personal ad is almost your Tinder. You can pretty much run the same episode, you just change a few things, whereas some older sitcoms, you get episodes that just would not translate to today.
Yeah.
This one still would.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of interesting that, there's a sort of half a B story at the start with the yo-yos, and then that's just completely abandoned once Homer and the doghouse thing gets introduced.
It's abandoned, but it's funny enough for as long as it was going to be.
Yeah, I guess it just...
It's the start of that Simpsons thing where the first 5 minutes is a misdirect storyline to kind of set up the main storyline.
Yeah.
You know? They get as far as him cracking the aquarium, and that's just leading into the love letter scene. And then the yo-yos are gone.
So, yeah.
Boom.
I gotta say, though, Edna's loneliness was set up very well at the start of the episode where...
Yeah, they've dropped bits of that before as well. They've had little hints of it, I think.
Yeah.
But now, become fully fledged, and we get a proper idea of just how horribly lonely she is.
Yeah, and that crushing montage.
It's really easy to associate with her, isn't it?
Yep.
One more day at least.
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, you guys like this episode?
Yeah,
I think it was well written. It was really tight. I mean, there weren't any sort of lulls in the momentum of the story.
Yeah, it keeps going. It's not as joke heavy, but I'm sure yours is a butt that won't quit has entered the vernacular.
Oh man,
quite nicely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lines in here that I've caught myself saying.
Guys, marry a woman who you can say that to and who gets it.
Yeah.
Put it in your wedding vows.
Even fiddle-dee-dee.
That will require a tetanus shot? Man.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did use that in place of swearing for a good while there. All right, let's do the questionnaire. So remembering your history with the episode, do you guys remember watching it for the first time, or?
No, I do not, Kent.
It's a hard question, man. I barely remember last week.
Fair enough. Do you remember liking this episode back in the day?
I think I thought it was funny, but I think the
romance was
heartfeltness and the
somewhat
romance,
lost on us as
yeah,
children,
yeah. As what, 8 or 9 year olds or something, it went fairly over our heads.
The idea of pranking the teacher, I think, was relatable at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was sort of like a guilt over your prank gone wrong episode from Bart's point of view. And there's a little Bart in all of, or there was, once upon a time. Damn, the hammer of mortality again.
Yeah. It's a hammer now? Shit.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
I don't know about you guys as primary school, but I certainly remember this episode coinciding with the yo-yo craze of like.
Yeah. I was thinking about watching it, whatever
95.
it was.
Yeah.
Which I was not a part of. I stepped away from that, and people were like, "I'm going to play with my yo forever." I'm like,
You didn't have a moose brain?
no, I was already old and cynical by the time this happened in 1994.
I'm guilty. I had all of the mooses. I had the
Yeah.
comet and the brain
Butterfly?
and the
Wow.
I was never any good at any of them, of course.
Not the point.
'Cause no
You
one
had
is.
them. You
Yeah,
had them.
spend way more money than I should on freaking yo-yo.
Well, especially moose, man. Like that total just markup brand.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good fun. So yeah, you guys watched this one a few times over the years.
Yeah, of course it comes up.
Yep,
I watch it because I couldn't be bothered moving.
I could have watched this blindfold. I think for the first half I did watch this blindfold. Knew exactly what was going on.
Yep.
Yeah, one of those ones that
Sexily yours.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, so much good Woodrow. What were you saying about? Yeah, you can say anything in that smooth voice with a flamenco guitar.
You need slow flamenco in the background, make
Yeah.
anything sound
Yeah.
romantic. Which, romance tip of the episode.
We'll come back to your place for some smooching.
Sexily yours. And yeah, is this one you guys see yourself watching again?
Again, if it's on.
And you don't have to move.
It's definitely not one I'd skip. I mean, you got the DVD on season at a time.
I wouldn't skip it, but I wouldn't search it out. Is my
That's fair. It's a good middle ground.
All right. Is this one actually you recommend others revisiting?
Recommend others revisit. As in, like, dude, you guys should really go back and check this out. I know you've seen it before, but you should damn well see it again.
No. It's not because it's bad. It's just that I don't feel like there's anything that you have to revisit. This.
I feel there's no big surprises to this. Like, some episodes you go back, especially like early seasons, and you're like, wow, this is way funnier than I remembered as a child.
Well, this has so many more dimensions than I realized.
Yeah, I didn't get that at first. No, I feel on board, the same page here as I was before. I realized before we said no when we were kids, we didn't get this at all. But no, I feel like this is about the same movie as it was the first time.
Yep, sure. And is this a good entry point into the show for someone who hasn't seen it, really?
No, because you wouldn't. If you've never seen it before, you don't know Bart's the kind of bad kid. You don't know.
So he has to have done 100 pranks to have a setup for this one prank.
No,
there has to be a prank number one.
I guess it gives you a little bit of that, but I feel like there's a little bit of setup here, I suppose, that you would want in context of everything else.
I really
Maybe
like
not.
that moment where Maggie crawls out of the doghouse and he's just like, oh fuck, it's my child. God,
Wait a
so
minute.
disappointing.
Oh, Maggie.
And then he's like, yes, beer. Man, it really kind of puts his perspectives, front page there.
I'm actually tempted to turn around and literally contradict myself and say, actually, you could entry level on this.
Yeah.
There's enough setup
Yeah.
for every character. You get enough of that Krabappel sadness for it to stick.
Lisa might as well have not been in this episode at all.
No, she was there for the classic, let's do some homework.
Which is exactly this sister.
All right, so home stretch now. Comment on the wackiness. It wasn't a particularly wacky episode,
No,
was it?
not at all. The wackiest you got was yo-yos, and that's about it.
No. The
Actually,
wackiest
yeah.
you got was the beehive falling on him while he was in the fucking... That was gold. I mean, it was just sort of saying, hey, we're a wacky show, by the way. Don't
Yeah.
forget.
Don't forget, sometimes beehives.
Yeah, the unrealistic yo-yo tricks. Actually, I do want to mention that because I don't particularly remember specifically any of these sort of obvious advertising to school children programs coming around to schools, but I remember skipping rope one.
Yeah, and we had Happy Healthy Harold. That was
Well, it was
that
advertising life.
They did
Yeah.
have products you could buy. I bought a drink bottle. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did it have like a giraffe on
It
it?
had a giraffe on it, man.
Wow, Harold was a shill.
Yeah. But a shill for his own stuff, so. Also, I've looked up the average lifespan of a giraffe. No matter how happy or healthy he was, he's dead now.
Apparently, he's doing really well.
Yeah?
I hear that he's gone international and he's huge in like Hong Kong and Switzerland and Sweden and a bunch of European countries.
Yeah,
And
well, good for the cloned versions of Harold.
there you go. The many faces of Harold.
Yeah.
Did they? You know what? Let's leave Harold out.
That's
going
going to be...
Hey, tangents are fun.
Unpacking that is going to take a long time.
So, the heart. This was a very, very hard episode.
Yeah, it's all about the heart.
hearty.
Yeah, and it brings it together at the end in a way that does feel satisfying, even though it's just... Yeah, there's nothing really changed with Edna. She still got horribly stood up, and
But she had a moment. She had some time.
she had some closure.
Someone she loved was there briefly and then
She
left
doesn't
for
know it's
reasons she
imaginary
doesn't really know
closure.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we will get there, I do not know. I haven't decided.
Beautiful. Although I feel like Homer at the very end when he was like, "With a love that echoes through the ages," felt like there was supposed to be a punchline there or something. I mean,
P.S. I'm gay.
yeah, he's not exactly known for his romance particularly, and everyone else when they had their good line, they were ripping it from somewhere, you know.
Yep.
But he was just like, by the way, love, ages, echoes, Calvin Klein. Yeah, I was waiting for the punchline. It didn't come. It was a strange moment. Did it feel like a strange moment to you guys? Or?
Well, yeah, I guess it just ends with Bart saying, "Oh, you old honey dripper," and he's like, "No,
Oh.
yeah.
there's a little
And
hair
everyone
tussle."
lives happily
You
ever
go
after.
fan.
That's a wrap, folks.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
little bit of weak
they
sauce, I guess.
they ended on sentimentality rather than a punchline.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily flipped that line and the P.S. I'm gay.
Mm.
But they didn't because I guess that's just the direction they wanted on this one.
Influence and quotable moments. Yeah, we've briefly done that already. The Homer's letter, just. Yeah, there's even bits of that I've forgotten over the years. They got these big chewy pretzels.
$5. Get out of here. Send that to your sweetheart on Valentine's Day.
And yeah, all that Woodrow stuff. I think that was Harry Shearer delivering all that. Just amazing.
Oh, great, man.
Because you can hear Bart's like language in it, but it's
Yeah, I like the way she doesn't blink twice at things like that. You know, sexually yours, smooch up a storm.
And I really hate yo-yos.
I like Moose Up a Storm. Let's bring that as well.
Yeah, I reckon there's a place for that.
How was your date late night? Went pretty well. We smooched up a storm.
It's so PG. It's amazing.
I know. There's a low pressure system coming in. This is going to be a smooch storm.
Oh,
Yeah.
this guy
Put some
Dave.
flamenco behind me right
Damn.
then. And oh, yeah.
He's going to be on your teaser trailer for the podcast.
Oh, the hashtags. Edna Bart.
Hashtag butt that won't quit.
Yeah. Fiddly D, tetanus shot, something there.
Yeah, swear jar.
Yeah, Homer getting hurt. There's a little bit of that.
Personal ads are the Tinder of the past.
Yeah, outdated services.
Yeah.
Well, not so much outdated, it's more ones that have become something else. So they be updated.
Evolved.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I think that.
All right, so
Covers.
that's it. That was Bart the Lover. That was season 3, episode 16. If you would like to watch that at home.
Here's a link.
In the audio.
Click here, www.piratebay.com.
No, you missed
Left
it. Back.
speaker.
No, a little to the right. Click the air there. Yeah, that'll do it.
Damn it.
We are not funny.
No.
Just turn the computer on and off, Mum.
Okay.
All right, so out of the 6 rankings available from bad to best, there is a failure, participant, bronze, silver, gold, or for the absolute essential Simpsons episodes, there is the Cubic Zirconia Award. Shag, where are you leaning? You need to lump it in a category.
Cubic zirconia is the best. Isn't that the fake diamond?
Yeah, but it's the reference to the episode.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Mm.
In reference.
No, that's cool. I'm all about in-game, meta humor. Meta humor is the word. I can act like a critic.
Haha.
So yeah, like think of these rankings as just sort of like a box to put this episode in for, you know, organizing the priority of watching the episode. So
Makes sense.
It's not so much building a 1 to 590 billion whatever the episode tally they're up to now. It's about just lumping them in piles.
So we got 6 boxes. Cubic Zirconia is your top
Your
box.
primo.
Ultimate.
I'd say it's not quite there, but it's definitely a laugh and a half. You know, it wasn't early season where it felt like a strain to watch, and it wasn't. Well, late season feels like a strain to watch as well. No, I'd say what? Gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, silver. Can I snap the DVD in half and put it half in each box?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Let's say gold.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good.
I want a silver gold, but if I have to put it in
Has to go in one box.
I was originally saying silver because I wasn't thinking about it being too essential, but then I'm like, well, you know, considering that you get enough lead in for every character and for every story, you know, fuck it, I'll gold it.
Yeah.
Gold this one.
No, that's where I was leaning as well. Like, for where it's not a particularly funny episode, like you guys were saying before, and I think it was like a really good Bart and Mrs. Krabappel episode where it brings weight to their relationship.
Yeah.
And
seeing as they have other episodes where there's stuff that,
and that, underlying their, feud, that they're,
it's the
moments.
respectful feud. It's
Yeah.
the, what is it? I hate respect you.
yeah. The classic frenemy, I believe they call it now. In a world of Tinder and...
I think that's the other direction. This is an enemy that's actually a friend.
Yeah. Ah, an enemerend.
That's not an enemerend.
no.
That's a different thing.
So that's universally agreed upon to be a gold. Now the next question is, Shag, you were in charge of picking the next episode. What episode did you pick?
Excuse me.
Huh?
Rory B. Bellows, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot about the pseudonyms.
Yeah. I'm doing season 12, episode 9, I think, HOMR.
Oh, holy shit. This is like my favorite episode.
Whoa.
Damn,
All right.
I changed my mind. I also was thinking about doing It's a Mad Mad Marge.
Oh,
with,
hate
like,
that
Becky.
episode.
Man.
Let's go to the Mad Marge dancers.
So, Homer?
Yeah, let's do Homer.
Homer.
All right, we'll be back.
Sexually yours. Is it? No, sorry. I'm gonna redo that. Sexually yours. Edward. Fuck. Was it?
Woody.
God, just edit all this out. Sexually yours. Woody. Gently pass it.
And welcome to the Gentle Passing Show. I'm gently passing the introductions. No, we've already done that.
I'm your host, Rory Calhoun.
Hey.
Rory. I don't know any other Rorys. Oh, Rory from Doctor Who.
Rory Storm and the Hurricanes.
Stop making people up.
No, that was the
No, that's
Ringo's
not a, pretty
original
sure that's not a
name.
thing.
No, it's Beatles.
Look that up, kids. He's wrong.
We just watched Homer, spelled HOMR, which is the 9th episode of season 12. One of my actual personal favorites of the later episodes of The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. What did you guys think?
Yeah, that was actually really funny. I was skeptical of being a slightly later season, but no, I laughed thoroughly.
Yeah, this was just. Oh yeah, man, it was action packed, zinger after zinger.
Yeah, I think you pointed it out at the start, though. It started off a bit like Family Guy with the joke after joke after joke.
Animation, but more not cutaway jokes, but more. Let's focus on this one aspect here that's somewhat that you could almost glue in anywhere.
Yeah.
That's it. They were almost unrelated gags. I mean, they start off walking into an animation convention. Nice little gag where it's like fucked up, twisted animation, children half price. That was
Yep.
cute.
Yep.
Walk in and suddenly we're watching Japanime. Doesn't do anything to the storyline except, hey, we did this Japanimation thing. Let's use it somewhere.
It's wacky.
And there's a bit of claymation in there as well.
Yeah,
with Davey
way
and Goliath.
darker
That was
than-
so dark.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't pipe bomb your dog, kids.
Felt out of character with The Simpsons, making a great bit about how Christianity turns a blind eye towards violence on its behalf or something.
Yeah,
I guess
they've
but-
taken plenty of jabs at religion over the years, but that was very direct and
Yeah.
very.
Yeah,
like,
I mean they go on to disprove God
unflinching.
later in the episode.
Yeah, but that's more of a ribbing, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas this felt more of a.
This was at the people, not at the
Yeah,
God.
it's a difference between a ribbing and like a satire, or not even.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word
Yeah.
for overly direct satire is.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't so much playing on the Davy and Goliath thing as it was just making a joke about Christians pipe bombing Planned Parenthoods, which I think it could have like even ended the segment there where he's like, "I'm making a pipe bomb and Planned Parenthood." I don't know about that. He didn't need to pipe bomb the dog.
No, don't pipe bomb your dog.
Yeah. Although that flash of like Rotten Todd just looking there smiling as the cameras in their eyes.
Well, it's like, and Harry Potter and all his wizard friends went straight to hell for practicing witchcraft. Yay!
yeah. You really drive the point home with those innocent smiles.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, and but all those gags just really, and I loved the Japanime gag as someone that doesn't totally get Japan anime. It was so on point for me. But yeah, once they put Homer in the mocap suit, I think all the jokes are just great from then on there. And I think the story, like, there wasn't really a beat. There wasn't any B plot. And the A story just folded out really smoothly and nicely, in my opinion.
I'd say the setup to get to the story was a bit clunky. But once you got to the Homer has a crayon in his brain.
Yeah, like the first 5 minutes...
Yeah,
he loses all his money. He goes into testing. It feels like a roundabout way because all of those issues are suddenly just gone. The money thing never mentioned again, I guess...
Yeah, no, it isn't. I'm so Australian. Yeah, nah, mate. Yeah, it wasn't until, like, I don't know, a third into the second act that the actual story of the crayon in the brain starts. Yeah.
Once it does, the episode really takes off. Getting there is a bit of a struggle. It's like, he goes to the animation, then he invests, then then he has to get money, then he has to get testing, then they get the crayon.
That's what I feel is sort of the mark of a bad episode of the later Simpsons. That they've got, like, the first 10 minutes is an unrelated story to get you somewhere, or like it's like the ones where are we going to travel this week, you know? What stupid way can we get tickets to Japan or to Africa or to Istanbul or something? And yet this one, as soon as it happened, man, no holds thrill ride the whole way. So I feel more forgiving than my usual bitter, cynical self.
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely laughing way more at that episode than we were at Bart the Lover.
Yeah, it's definitely more on the jokes and quotability, which is always nice. Now, I'm going to try and get this part right because I'm going to fuck it up. But there's a thing in storytelling which is you don't want to be and then. You want to be this happens, but this, and so therefore this. So you've got a flow there. Whereas the first part is and then... You know, they go to animation, and then they go here, and then they go here. But then once you get to that halfway point, he finds out the crayon in his brain, but then he finds out being smart is difficult, and so therefore everything else happens.
Yep. Yeah, there is that flow and progression to it all, and even the setup of the crayon. Even the crayon, and then the explanation of. You know, they found it in the X-ray, and then Dr. Hibbert just walking in out of nowhere.
It's one of those things that they could have just not had that bothered covering that plot hole at all. But I think it's funnier with the joke of, this is why now I have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the leaving was funnier than his explanation. Yeah. I mean, while I watch him explain, I always put my thumb right here over the person's head. I'm thinking maybe Hibbert is the wrong character for that. If it was Dr. Nick Riviera, you'd expect that sort of thing, you know?
Right, yeah. I always put my thumb over the... Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Dr. Nick. Actually, that probably could have worked well.
Yeah, but they go to Dr. Hibbert way more.
Hibbert's their family doctor.
Yeah. True.
Continuity, man.
Yeah, so I really liked that one. Let's do a questionnaire. So, talking history with the episode, I do remember watching this, and this was around the time that I was starting to get jaded with The Simpsons. I wasn't videotaping them much anymore, but this is one that I remember surprising me at the time, and I was like, it probably brought me a few more years into watching the show consistently. What about you guys? Do you guys remember it at the time?
I don't not remember nothing, and you can't prove I do. So no.
I remember the ones around it were really weak, and so I'd really lost interest in the season. I think I caught this one by accident. Prove me wrong, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
I think I caught this one by accident, and I don't know if I was reinvigorated for The Simpsons as a whole, but definitely it caught my interest again. What about you, Elliot?
How do you feel? Well, he actually covered himself on that one.
It's okay.
That's a hard question, man.
Yeah.
Has this one been revisited much? I know for myself, I've, owning the DVDs, I've watched this one probably 15 to 20 times.
Well, you didn't call it your favourite, so.
Well, yeah. I for a long time I would have said that this was my favourite episode of the post 10-year gap mark.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think Scorpio is still my favourite, actually.
Scorpio's
I think that's 8.
Whatever it is, it's wonderful.
It's in the good half, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but in in the other half.
I don't think I've particularly come back to it other than quoting.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, there's.
It's always fun to Polly shouldn't be.
Oh man, I can't think how many quotes were in this one. It was amazing.
Yeah, I make a lot of graphs.
That was gold.
Yeah, skipping ahead to the quotable moments, man. There were a few. Like,
Yep.
It's not a particularly influential show, but quotable. Like, there are so many good jokes here.
Of which I can now remember none. It's got the Three Stooges problem. I know there are multiples. That's why none are getting through because they're all stuck in the doorway.
Yeah, but and just from that Lisa one graphs, a lot of graphs. Oh yeah, how else do you relax? Tai Chi, chai tea.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Love that one.
Damn you, eBay.
Lisa's hugging of the maple syrup. Anyway, we all think it's a good one. Would you watch it again?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I'd put this above. I feel bad that we put his episode in gold now because I'm not sure whether to put this in.
Well, I would
Crimson,
cubic zirconia. I wouldn't zirconia. I know we're not for ratings yet, but
it's tough.
I wouldn't call it essential. It's great. I do love it. I want to gold it.
That was the thing. I did feel like you need to know The Simpsons to watch this one properly.
Definitely a little bit more. You need to understand Dr. Hibbert and Homer's stupidity and Lisa's alienation due to her intelligence and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's absolutely not one that you'd say, yeah, this is a great entry-level episode to get the ball rolling on the show, but definitely for like a lapsed fan or something, like you say, hey, this is actually an argument in the favor of, they made good episodes after the classic.
Yeah, if anyone's like, there's nothing good after season 10, you could be like, boom, this.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, it is a stupid premise. Homer, crayon brain, how did they not note it? But yeah, they pull it off.
We got laughs. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, we'd watch it again. So let's comment on the wackiness. It's a little bit wacky.
It's plenty wacky.
Crayon in the brain.
Plenty wacky.
How did they get there? Oh, I had a game where I shoved crayons up my nose.
Oh man, that shot of the 6-year-old Homer
and
just
crayons are coming out both of his ears.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's all of them.
yeah, surrealism.
Yeah. And it is putting a character out of the character sort of episode where it's a Homer's now smart episode where maybe in the same vein where they did the Lisa Goes Dumb episode and
or Bart Behaves episodes or Marge Becomes a Bodybuilder, which was actually probably not a good one.
Plenty wacky moments. Homer's mocap suit taking a whiz, that was great.
Yep.
The cut of the dog scratching, pulling back to Homer scratching, that was really great.
Yep.
The reverse reveal shot, as you said.
Yeah. And heck, the definition, the proof of God thing, that's really good. It's golden moments.
Nope.
Cut away to him
It's
putting it everywhere.
airtight.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, really good. Heart. Now, this is something that the later Simpsons do lack these heart storylines where they bring, the family together at the end and have the moment.
Hey, there's still time. Let's hug him again.
I think this is a great heart episode for Lisa and Homer because it's not exactly like the...
It's a bit brief, is
Sorry.
all,
Yeah.
Their connection. There's like one brief scene with chai tea, and then there's one brief letter and a hug.
Oh, and then hanging out at the library and...
Oh, yeah.
But again, if you know the show, you realize what that means.
Yeah.
Homer in a library?
But I feel like it does give the episode some weight at the end with that letter and the Lisa hug, and it's like... a hug. That's something I can do.
I remember when I was a dumb, innocent kid, I was like, wow, thank God there was a letter. Some sense of closure.
Otherwise, we would have walked out this story with no sense.
Yeah, I can remember on the playground the next day. That was terrible. The story structure was all over the place.
That's what you sounded like in high school.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, this episode was like 2001.
Little
so
rascals. the
how
whole
old
way.
were we then?
Cockney orphans. We were all
2001.
Cockney
We would have been like
orphans.
17 or something like that.
Wow, 16 for me.
16, 17.
Oh yeah,
something
you got
like
to add an extra one for whatever.
that. Whatever.
Leap years.
All right.
There's still years.
Leap years are years too. Leap year rights.
All right, what's the next question?
Now we're at the influence quotable moments. We've been through a bunch of
we
them
did
already.
that. We've done that. That was going to happen.
Hashtags.
Octoparrot.
Octoparrot.
Crayon.
Yeah. Homer dumb or Homer smart.
Homer smart. Chai tea.
Yep. Spoonerisms. There was a classic Simpsons move of walking with a black background and the signs of businesses going past you. Yeah, where
Sign montage. I don't know what to call
Midnight
that.
Cowboy? Is that Midnight Cowboy?
I think so, but I'm not sure. It's one of them.
We should really be more
Sad-
informed as critics.
Sad jazz playing in the background as signs just waft past, telling you how alone you are. Or I learned the truth at 17. I think they do the same thing with that. I'm pretty sure they do the same bit.
That's great. So yeah, hashtag walking montage thing.
We'll gotta find out. We'll find out the name.
Yeah.
Find out the name.
And yeah, hashtag Homer Lisa. I think that's a good one. All right, time to award the ranking. I know where I'm sitting with this one. How about let's start with I don't know, Bart. I mean Shag.
Do you need some thinking music? Never give us beer bottles and opinions and microphones.
Guys. Look, I reckon this is top tier episode. I laughed and I laughed. You know, I think I'm definitely going to go back and enjoy this one again. Yeah, they're definitely top shelf. Cubic zirconius. Let's
Wow. Okay.
He's all the way at Zirconia.
Oh, sure, man. Like, I don't know where. I mean, there's things you could do differently, but I don't really want to change much in it. Yeah. Your
Right.
turn, Beach.
I'm going to gold standard because I think this one has better jokes than Bart the Lover, which we just watched, but that one had probably the better story structure. So for different reasons, they both attained the gold standard.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm cubic zirconia as well, and it's not because it's the ultimate, but it's probably the ultimate. I don't think the series got better than this, and it's sort
In
of
that season, or
no at
ever?
all.
Oh wow!
And hopefully I prove myself wrong in the time that we do this.
That we
Oh,
spent
you
little
will.
experiment.
indexing.
You will.
That maybe there is a better episode after this than this, but yeah, it still holds up greatly, and even like with a clunky beginning, I think it's still
Pete,
the
what would you say
ultimate
is a
standard.
cubic zirconia? Top tier episode.
When we were test running this, we did the
Episode that the cubic
episode,
zirconia's from.
the cat burglar episode, and that when watching that, it was amazing. I couldn't believe how good that one. I'd forgotten a lot of it, but it was just joke after joke. But story structure was perfect as well, and everything just fit beautifully and was hilarious. So that one I know was definitely. It's not to say this. I just feel like that clunky start is keeping it just from that level of perfection
That's
that
fair, that's
I
fair,
want to
man.
reserve the Zirconia award for.
There's plenty that, without even watching, I expect to give him top shelf to. Monorail or the Scorpio one.
Yep.
Or the Pulp Fiction one. Or
Another late in the run episode, actually. That's like 11 or 10 or something.
Yeah, the 36 Stories of Springfield, or whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah, that's like 7 or
So
something.
that's the Pulp Fiction one.
No, the Pulp Fiction ones with the Robo-Linguo.
Depends which one, because I've got the one where they burst into Herman's military antiques and he puts them in the basement, like in Pulp Fiction. But then there's the one where it's multiple stories all joining together.
Yeah.
So different aspects.
Ooh,
Of,
they could really almost be the same story, couldn't they?
very similar. We'll get there. Let's tangent.
Eventually.
That's our tangent for today. Hashtag tangent.
All right, so that's 2 cubic zirconias and a gold. A very good episode. Yeah, okay. Well, it's time for the next one, and this is the one that I pick. The one from season 20 and above, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one of us who still watches episodes from season 20 and above.
Nerd!
And have you guys happened to seen the movie Boyhood?
No.
Is it the one with... No, I haven't.
Neither have I. This episode parodies it.
Okay,
Sure
we're boned. Thanks for that one.
I can see you're going to relate to this.
Yeah.
This episode, the next episode will be Barthood. Okay.
Drink every time a joke goes over your head.
Yeah, you're gonna need more beer.
We're going to get more beer and watch a show. That's how I should have started.
Yeah, you missed your own entry cue.
Oh, and I couldn't even do one of my own and take
No,
credit for it.
no.
Okay, that was season 27, episode 9, Barthood.
27. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, we're old, right? Yeah, and speaking of old, this episode tackles aging.
Wow.
How about that?
How about that flawless segue?
Beautiful, man.
Just, it brings
You know,
a
the
tear to
inventor
your
of
eye
Segway
socket.
died on a Segway.
He lived
Just saying,
by
what's
the,
your back, man?
He lived by the insane contraption. He died by the insane contraption. It's how we all want a Wile E. Coyote out of this life. So
Yeah, so I mean, obviously this episode's new to you guys. What did you think?
you know, I actually didn't mind it. For a while, I was like, "This is literally doing that, and then this kind of storytelling." But it got there, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, I could see what it was doing.
Yeah.
The Forrest Gump, the life story.
Yeah, we haven't seen the source material, which is Boyhood.
Yeah.
But I know.
Well, yeah, the basic story of Boyhood is that they do, that.
Yeah,
But the thing that it was cool at is because it filmed the same actor.
It's done in real time, so.
Yeah, so that's what they were going for, and I think it was really cool that they totally skipped over Bart age 10. You know, we've definitely seen hundreds of
Yeah.
hours
We've
of that.
seen that. Yeah, he's probably spent longer being 10 than actual people.
Yeah.
After 27 seasons, how many episodes do they have per season?
Well, they're up to like 592, I think, is the current count. So yeah, there's not that it does, but if each episode was a day, like
Not even that. If each episode was a half hour, I think we'd still possibly be at an entire year's worth of. But anyway,
250 hours, 300 hours roughly, divided by days. You know what? I don't care.
math.
Did you carry the one?
We don't beer and math at the same time.
I watched this one the other week, and I thought, it's as far as heart and storytelling, it's above the current.
It's above the current bar, which isn't set terribly high, but no, I think it worked pretty well. There were some parts where I'm like, we've kind of covered this before in previous episodes. We've had Homer and Bart bonding. We've had Bart and Lisa kind of appreciating each other, but you never do that once and then it's fine. For in real life, you have one experience and that's fine for a while, but if you don't continue on, it's just one thing you do once, and relationships are formed over time. Just make a note of that, your kids.
Yeah.
Over time.
It's beautiful, man.
No, it's really not.
I think we could all take a little something from that speech there.
Don't.
It was. Look, I could see what they were doing. It was touching. It was bittersweet. I don't feel like it was an episode of The Simpsons.
Really?
I know what you mean there.
Definitely wasn't a Simpsons episode. It had the same characters, but you can chuck those characters in any sort of movie, and it won't necessarily be the same show.
Well, yeah, and that's actually one thing that I don't know if they were taking from Boyhood, which was like the kid having a relationship with the grandfather as opposed to the dad. And yeah, we haven't really seen beyond, I don't know, the Hellfish episode, Bart and Grandpa having an intensely close relationship or anything, but it kind of works.
No, it was good. I mean, what we do see is Bart and Homer having a bad relationship.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah, which they often do, and they've had episodes where that hugs at the end, but it's all about the years rather than the days.
So. Yeah.
I just because it's a later season, I was really interested by the camera angles and things. That was really cool. I mean, it was for movies and live action. They're standard shots, but they're things you never see in The Simpsons.
In animation,
Yeah, the later seasons do have a lot more attention to detail with the animations as well. I find you sort of see the characters just moving a little bit more than they would, back in the days where they had to draw this shit. Koreans had to draw this shit.
and now in the widescreen era, they do have a lot more background gags going on, and
Yeah, a lot of-
and complex shots. Like the party scenes, they were like everyone was doing things, people making out and smoking pot and whatever. They'd have kept that really simple in an early episode, just for the frame, for the artist's wrist.
Yeah, very few cartoons are drawn live. It's a terrible strain on the artist's wrists.
actually, one episode, a recent episode, did a live segment.
What?
Yeah,
What?
They had
heard about
Homer in a
this.
still shot behind a desk answering calls, and I think they were just able to computer animate his mouth, and it was painful and awkward. And
But hey, let's try something new.
Well, that's it. It's never been done by anyone. I heard it was slightly mocap through a computer.
oh yeah,
Which makes sense. I mean, if it's just focusing on the mouth and the hands and things, they've got plenty of Homer files to work with. Yeah, it's a great idea, really clever, and something you couldn't have done even 10 years ago.
yeah, absolutely, and yeah, I like it when The Simpsons is still trying to do new things, because you can't accuse them of going too far off the beaten track, because a lot of the episodes that we love are the Hank Scorpios and
the more unusual,
yeah, where the wackiness is ramped up, or there's a particularly far out element to it, and yeah, them screwing with the story structure, I appreciated that. I thought it was sort of weakest in its joke telling.
Yeah, no, I mean, there were a few good ones, but mostly you're there for the sentimentality, and we've gone forward in time before The Simpsons, like Lisa's wedding and Bart becoming a Supreme Court justice, and Lisa president. But we've never travelled there, I suppose. It's always just been jumped to and tell a story.
Solid point.
Whereas this was going through the ages and telling a cohesive story across time. Yes, put that in your film school dialect.
I found the pot smoking scene stood out a little. It felt a little out of place for some reason.
No, I agree. It's considering that they dedicate an entire episode to having, pot being a thing.
Yeah, and that was when he was 10, right? That was in
when Homer gets on medical marijuana, and then just to have it as a reality, I think it takes it from where a serious subject is an entire episode to where a serious subject is a background detail.
Yeah. Was that supposed to be a gag? While Homer's doing pot?
It was, and then it was following it up with the Chief Wiggum, thinking he could fly, which, the whole confusion over what's acid and what's weed sort of bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But, and weed does sort of feel unnatural in The Simpsons, because it wasn't super socially acceptable back when it was airing, and now that a lot of the laws in America especially have loosened,
has society really changed that much?
Yeah, but because we're working with these pre-established characters who none of them smoked pot, but I did like the gag, the bomb stays in the treehouse. I thought that was...
Oh, that's good. But everything else is it's like, hey, there's Homer, smoke getting blazed.
Yeah, there wasn't much there, and there wasn't... it was just sort of making Bart and Homer not get along again.
Can't they just smoke a bowl and get along?
But,
no.
Yeah, look, I liked how it... I did like how it showed sort of Bart sort of trying to live up to Lisa, and then Lisa turning around at the end and going, "No, you moron! I've got my struggles with you too." And the whole putting weight to his relationship with Grandpa. I liked.
No, that's the good and the weird thing is that it's very human for a yellow-skinned, four-fingered family.
Why is our skin yellow? God made us that
I really
way.
liked that scene. The Homer finally has all the answers scene.
Yeah.
That was really cute.
Pollution, it's artificial.
They were all it was gag after gag, but it also felt like Homer finally has a chance to be a father figure
It's
to
a really
him.
good bookend.
Yeah. I felt like it would have made more sense as a storyline if Homer was drunk and Bart was high. Because Homer's been an alcoholic.
Homer's association with beer is forever.
Yeah. So has he just given that up and taken up drugs instead? Has he become a druggie?
No more Duff, man. It's all about weed.
Yeah, it feels weird. Or at least that chapter wasn't covered in their whole life story that was just paraded for us.
Yeah.
Whereas Bart, there's no reason for him to take up drugs or for him to take up alcohol. He really could have gone either way or neither way.
But I mean, working in a custom bike shop, I guess that sort of lends more to the a weed stereotype than it does an alcohol one. And yeah, you're right. It probably should have been switched.
Yeah, it could have gone the other way around.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't have the line of Bart going, "Why does beer taste so good?" Because you just had 7.
Was solid.
That's also true.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm only on 3, and it's like, it's good, but
Why
It's
does
not 7 good.
Dad? Why does pot taste so good? That doesn't sound right.
no.
It doesn't have the same
You
zing.
shouldn't be eating it, son.
Why do weed cookies taste so good? Alright, so is this one that you'd revisit?
I would want to watch Boy first, and then maybe I'd come back to
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just to see
Yeah.
if I'm.
You'd
picking
have to
up
really
anything
be in the
else.
right mood for
Yeah.
long-winded Hallmark movie sort of. You know,
Sure.
it's sweet. It's very sweet, but you know, you don't come home from work and feel like a few laughs and put on.
Yeah, I've had a tough day. I'm gonna watch that sentimental episode of that show.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really in the mood for the one where Ren and Stimpy kiss.
Whereas something that'll break my heart.
Alright, a lot of these questions are relevant because you haven't seen it before.
Yep.
Uh,
Where were we the first time? I believe I was on this couch, sitting a bit further back.
Pardon?
Where was it the first time I watched this episode? I was on this couch, but sitting slightly further back.
Come on, man. I barely remember last week. How do you expect me to know where I was the first time I saw this? Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
So, what do you reckon? Is this one that you could tell an old fan to go say, you know what, still got some merit?
Yeah, I'd say there's some production quality in this.
I'd like to see a few more episodes of these later seasons.
Yeah, for context.
Yeah, for context. Because I don't know whether I'm showing them the best of the new stuff or the worst of the new stuff.
I will say there are a lot of background jokes for long-term fans in this one. That's cool.
Yeah, especially...
And it's different enough as well. Like, I wouldn't say, hey guys, guess what, Simpsons are doing the same thing, go check it out. It's the exact same thing you'd expect. But, hey, guess what, Simpsons are doing something really different.
Yeah.
That's a reason to go look, I guess.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Roll up.
All right, I'm just going to skip to the quotable moments because I've got this in my brain and I know I'll forget it. Ralph at the party, what did he say? Martin asked...
So Ralph, you joined the army?
Yeah, because I needed a costume for this party.
Yeah. That was
Right.
both funny and painful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ralph moments are pretty trite in the later episodes.
Oh boy, sleep. That's where I become Viking.
Classic Ralph.
I bent my Wookiee.
Yeah.
So yeah, just having a good Ralph one-liner these days
Oh,
is
yeah.
much better than the episode where he was going to be elected the US president.
Oof.
Yeah, that was an episode.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Trump.
Yeah, there's a bar
Ooh.
for you.
I think we should build a wall. Political satire, people.
So, do you think this was a particularly wacky episode?
No, the opposite of
No.
unwackiness.
No, just wacky in terms of how the Simpsons episodes usually unfold. It's
Yeah. Making, noodles mid-bike trick is the closest you get to wacky.
Yeah, that was
It was
definitely
funny.
wacky.
I got a laugh.
Good.
yeah. Did it have heart?
Oh, all the hearts.
So many hearts.
My emotions.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, heart with Grandpa, heart with Lisa.
Yeah.
Practically had for your Oscar viewing nomination pleasure at the bottom.
Yeah. This is a Emmy contender for sure. All right. Influence, quotable moments.
And it's too hard to say because I just saw it. I can't say I'm going to quote any parts of this.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think I'll.
There were a few bits that I can't call off the top of my head because I've only seen it once. But
Sure.
yeah, I quite liked. I mean, it's not even a quote. I quite liked that. I mean, it was obvious Lisa was going to end up with what's his name, Nelson, when they walked in the door. Liked seeing her wearing his jacket.
Wearing
that was
the Nelson
it looked
signature.
natural enough that you don't notice it until
Yeah.
you see
I
these
did
kind
not
of things.
notice
in the,
that.
See, there,
Yeah, there you go.
She's wearing the famous Nelson cutoff jacket. So.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah. Why else would I be going to a Bolivian film festival? We've all been there.
That's it.
Oh. If only it was Bolivian Film Festival, I'd go to that.
Yeah, Ralph one was good, and the HOMR questions was good, and yeah. All right, hashtags.
Hashtag boyhood.
Decent new episode.
Hashtag boyhood. Hashtag why did Patricia Arquette get an Oscar for that?
Did she?
She did. Why? She's not a good actress.
She's not in much. She isn't, is she?
No, she just has one mode. I'm sorry.
she
it
doesn't hear this.
It bothers me. I hope she does.
Wait, Patricia Arquette was in that?
Yeah, she's like the main, like she's like the mum, and she won the Oscar for it. And I don't think she's a very good actress.
Sure, it was well deserved. No, I'm not sure of that.
I haven't seen the movie. I don't need to.
It might have been well deserved then.
I can guarantee you could splice out any line from any other role she's ever had, and you wouldn't notice.
True Romance.
Yeah, pretty much. She probably. I mean, maybe more Blow references.
All right. Well, yeah. Hashtags boyhood. Bart and Grandpa. Bart and
Hashtag
Lisa.
Simpsons weed.
Simpsons weed. Yeah. This
Why,
is
hashtag why people are yellow.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, time to give an award. I'm gonna have a think about it for a little bit, and I want to hear what you guys think. Let's start.
Go
with
on,
you,
Elliot.
Paige.
You go first. You're always going last.
Nah.
That's right.
Nah.
So what are my rankings
Because one's
again?
the only ranking
So
that
is it
matters.
failure, participant, bronze, silver, gold?
Yeah, failure participant, bronze, silver, gold, cubic zirconia.
Again, without context for the rest of the season, I kind of want to bronze it at least, maybe. Just say, you know what, it's solid. It's not great. It's not highly quotable, but it's enough sentimentality and, like I said, artistic in its direction to give it merits outside of what we'd normally rank as a good Simpsons episode of instant quotability and hilarity. There's enough going on to make it worthwhile. So, bronze. That's the sound of bronze appearing.
Rank 1 is cubic. Rank 2 is gold. Rank 3 is silver. Rank 4 is bronze.
Giving out medals of glorious gold, so silver, and shameful bronze.
But look, just to sort of give the rankings a bit more context, I think the reason like there's a failure and a participant is because I don't think that you need to give a color grade to failure. Like I think when you do numbered rankings, I think the difference
beige.
between 1 to 4 is like you're not going to want to.
Yeah, failure is beige, trust me.
Yeah, and a participant badge, that would be an episode that gave you no emotional high or lows, or gave you no humor high or lows. It's just
It exists.
yeah. So a bronze is a very respectable one as well, because that is mostly flat, but I got something out of it.
I'm sticking with it then.
Examples of a participant.
I don't think we've been doing this long enough.
Oh fuck, the one where Steve Carell is in it, and maybe the one with Fat Tony's son and Metallica has a cameo in it. That's a very flat episode.
Although I enjoyed the Godfather references.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one. All right.
Yeah, a lot of the 20s and late teens, I'd say, would be participant. Oh, the one where season 20, the first HD episode, where Homer's trying to retroactively get the king of the prom.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, and it introduced like a random person that we'd never heard of, and they do flashbacks to high school days where Homer actually was the king of the prom, but Principal Dongalinga was afraid that he'd get embarrassed or so. I don't know. It was a
Damn Dean.
yeah. So long story short, I think bronze is still a very respectable ranking. Where are you leaning, Shag?
I'm gonna go one better. I'm gonna say silver.
Wow.
It's like, oh hey, it's not a wow ranking. If I'd gone cubic, you'd say
You'd be fired.
what? But no, like it's probably not going to be one of the top shelf that I'm gonna get this urge to go out and hunt down. It's not going to be second tier where I'm like, it comes on and I just laugh more than I expected to. But yeah, I guess the thing is, it doesn't feel like a Simpsons episode, but it felt like a nostalgia episode. You know, it looked like it was like having a flashback 20 years on and saying, "Oh, look, these actors aren't dead; they're just old." It was there's a sweet nostalgia to it. It's cute. You might come back to this in another 30 years when you're 102 and be like, "Oh, I remember when Itchy and Scroodachi were."
You could feasibly do this as almost like a last episode thing.
Yeah.
Do it for every character, like a very Parks and Rec ending.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd love it if The Simpsons could end like that. I am if there were 0.5 rankings in my system.
Well, you very much decided there weren't.
It would definitely be a bronze, point silver, but it isn't. So I'm going to default to bronze with this one because, it's good for a new episode, but it's still not hitting highs that the old episodes were. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was the 3. Well done. Episode 1 in the bank.
Waka waka waka.
Oh shit, the mics were off.
See, I know you're lying, so I can see the thing from here.
Yeah.
So, fuck you.
Damn it, my ruse. All right, well, yeah, I'll we'll print that one, and I've been your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, and
I've continued to be myself.
And I'm still Principal Dondelinger.
Dondelinger.
damn you, Dean.
Dondelinger's in the Dean.
All right, witty outro catchphrase to come.
Outro music, theme music.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes.
God, slut.
God slut.